And I want to I want to give a shout out to Contra Costa County because they have gotten grants in each round. They're the only library that has come up with these innovative grants. The first one being the bar stop and go. That's the machines that do that, stop and go. Seriously, have you been to Millbrae lately? The Technology Opportunity Program for Schools, Neighborhoods, and Libraries, the Top Schools Project. Sean Reinhardt from Hayward is going to talk about that.
Thank you, Linda. So the Technology Opportunities Program for Schools, Neighborhoods, and Libraries, or Top Schools, is the name of our project. I'll just talk quickly about the need that led to us developing this project, how we got it started, and then how the Innovations Grant played a role in it, and then where we are going forward. In the city of Hayward, we have the lowest performing school district in Alameda County, and it's been that way for several years, and that is as measured by API test scores. That's been identified as a critical problem in our community by a number of local leaders, most importantly to me and my library, the Hayward City Council. So improving the academic achievement of students has been identified as something that we as a city really need to work on in order to just improve the health and vibrancy of our community. So the thing is, a school district is a separate entity from municipal government. And so there is a limited amount of control that the city of Hayward might have over the operations in the school district. However, the city of Hayward does have a public library system, which is an educational institution in our community. So a couple of years back, in 2009, we were fortunate to receive an earmark from the U.S. Department of Education to support after-school programs in the city. And we decided at the library, under the leadership of my predecessor, Lisa Rosenblum, to establish an after-school homework center in the main library, which we then expanded to the Weeks Library. We have 2 locations the following year. And essentially how that center operates is it's after-school, drop-in. There are trained tutors along the literacy program model that are volunteers that come in. We kind of show them the ropes. Kids come in, any grade, they bring their homework in, and they're matched up with a tutor who can kind of help them meet their needs. In addition, we provide Wi-Fi access and laptop computers in the room for students who need access to that technology to support their work. And also a subscription access to tutor.com for those hours of the day when the center is not open. So that proved to be a very successful model. After a couple of years in operation, I mentioned we expanded it to the Weeks Library, and we had served over 700 unduplicated students in a single year. Very popular in the community. The kids were getting a lot out of it. Certainly the volunteers were getting a lot out of it. And most importantly, their test scores were improving. We conducted a abbreviated version of the STAR test at grade level for every student who is in the program. And then we test them after 10 sessions in the program for those who do return for 10 sessions. And we found that on average, their test scores improved by 9 percentage points. So significant improvement in their academic performance just from coming into the after-school homework centers and getting some one-on-one focused help with what they were trying to do. So after a couple of years of doing this, the school district really took notice. They saw that we were doing something that was really helping them in their efforts to improve student achievement, and they approached us about potentially forming a partnership going forward to help them deliver the same type of programs in their schools. So this current school year, which is now wrapping up, we worked together and we submitted a proposal to the Bayless Innovations team to expand the project to a local elementary school. And I'm happy to say that on opening day, we had 200 students in there. And it's proven extremely popular. It was a little bit different because it's not our site. So there were some things about it that were unique, and those are the things that were supported by the Innovations Grant. So for example, we felt strongly that our homework centers in our libraries succeeded in large part because they were in a public library. They had the library resources and staff wrapped around it, and it enabled the parents who were coming in with their students to have access to those resources as well. We couldn't exactly replicate that in a public school site, but what we did was we we purchased a library book vending machine. We opted, rather than the stop-and-go model, we opted for the Brodart Lending Library model, which essentially looks like a big candy bar machine, but rather than the candy and snacks, it has books in it. Very familiar technology, very inexpensive, easy to use. The kids absolutely love it. The school does have a school library, which is pretty well stocked with academic type materials. So we focused on putting popular materials that the kids would really want and that would foster that love of reading in them. The machine's proven very popular, very low cost to operate. We utilized contract consultant staff to actually staff the site. That is the case with our homework centers in the libraries. And those are supported by trained volunteers from the community who turn out quite strongly in support of the program. In addition, the Longwood Elementary School site has laptop computers that are available for the kids to use. The school district actually provided those. And kind of the key thing about this is that we thought, well, if we're going to give, ultimately our plan was to provide laptop or netbook computers or now tablet computers for the kids and their family to check out and actually take home with them so they would have access to that technology. The school district has been working on actually getting those pieces of hardware in. We didn't get them in the first year. It looks like we're going to roll those out next year. But in preparation for that, what we did was we worked with our IT department and the school district's IT department to establish a Wi-Fi antenna on top of the school that has municipal Wi-Fi as opposed to school district Wi-Fi that's available to the surrounding neighborhood at a distance of about 1,000 square feet, 1,000 foot radius around the campus. So that's kind of the neighborhood's portion of the project, and that it provides that service that's a library, municipal library type service to the neighborhood. That caught the notice of a partnership, a collaboration in the city of Hayward between Cal State East Bay, the school district, the city of Hayward, and a number of other community agencies that are focused on educational improvement. And that became integrated, the Wi-Fi antennas on local schools, into a Promise Neighborhoods grant application. The city of Hayward was one of only 5 cities nationwide that received a Promise Neighborhood grant, $25 million over 5 years to support student achievement in a very focused neighborhood within Hayward. This one happens to be called the Jackson Triangle. Based on the Harlem Children's Zone model, where you take one square block of a neighborhood. Okay, so anyway, we were able to leverage the Bayless Innovations Grant into that growth with the Hayward Promise Neighborhoods Grant, and I'm happy to say that we're going to be expanding this model to 6 elementary schools in Hayward over the next 5 years, supported with that grant. So thank you very much.